Eyebrows. She fixed her eyebrows.
We outside!
I think
Turn us
wait,
all the way around. And
isn't
Rachel is
some
gonna make her
catfishes
dad proud.
isn't catfish like some species of catfish game fish
Kind of
though?
slip back into retirement and spend with my grandchildren and travel around a little bit and do a little beach time. I can't thank you enough.
Why did I think some
Next
species
time,
of catfish
I'm
are
at
game
Stone's
fish?
Throw in Seymour, Connecticut, to meet an owner who is wasting 30 years of experience.
You do not care!
And letting his exhausted wife
You want me to say?
carry the weight of their failing business.
Can't get beat up anymore. I can't.
The only thing worse than this owner
Disgrace!
might be my disguise. How do I look?
Gorgeous.
Nah,
Or
not the
my
Mrs.
driving?
Doubtfire look.
I should have brought my handicap sticker.
That's crazy. Damn. All right, Breeby, let us have it. You said shark tastes like chicken? I did not know that. Bula, is that how you move to this kind of music, Bula? As of this year, Catfish Cabin is closed. The building is gone. Is gone. Ripped. Oh shit. That one right there was my fault. I mean, the footwork do be doing it though. Okay, I respect that. I thought you told me you didn't dance though. Oh, the privacy of your own. Gotcha. Yo, you know it, Noto. I try to provide some vibes, you know. I'm gonna find ways to make this stream like fun again. You know what I mean? Oh, you son of a... I didn't know where you caught me with those.
Join!
Thank you, Bula. Wait, why is it? Oh, Nightbot. It was for Nightbot. Never mind. I don't know, guys. I just feel like I don't know, like I've been taking a look at my numbers and stuff, and I just feel like feel like the stream could be better. I mean, if you guys think it's still oh shit. No, so okay, so like I had like good constructive criticism. Well, I mean, I don't know if it was good constructive because Max and Duff were drunk as fuck, but they were very honest with me, at least. Though I could say that because when you're drunk, you're honest. But I got to do a better job with like with chat interaction. Like they pointed out that I tend to like I tend to lock in when it comes to playing games, and sometimes I forget about chat. So that's something that I want to improve in, you know what I mean? So I want to do things again. Like I want to bring back the I don't know like how long you guys have been here. Still, I know you've been here for a while. Jessa, I know you followed me for a while, but like you didn't start hanging around like a lot till I don't even want to say recently, but I don't know if you guys remember. I used to like have a lot of I used to incorporate a lot of board games into my stream, like Bop It and Simon Says and stuff like that. So I want to go back to that. I want to go back to like, you know, doing stuff like that. You son of a bitch. Will you pull it and twist it too, Candy, while you're at it? Honestly, the bingo games were a ton of fun when they were around. Yeah, I wanna get back to doing that. So that, like, that's what I mean by like making my stream fun again, because I just feel like there was a time in my stream that, like, aside from like you guys just spamming commands, there were a lot of things that we did with each other, and I feel like I kind of fell off with that.
Nice cock.
Jessa, you better stop talking to me like that. I already told you your thick ass is on top of the list. You and your 5'9" ass. I got no problem climbing that tree, Jessa. No problem. Hey, you better come through me first. Hey, yo. I thought you said me and Notorious had to work on our pullout games though. Nah. I'm sorry, but you left it open there. And I know that was your nickname in college, but still. you left that one open, Candy. No! Oh shit. Okay, I could fall here. My bad, Candy. Working on my logging out game right now. That's yo, Valheim got Candy and Jessa in a chokehold, bro. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. And I feel like those were the days that I did the best with chat interaction. I did the best with, you know, even like my earnings and stuff. Like the Rick and Thick days were top tier days. But then things, you know, shit happened and only presses like Flash, what's up? But I would love to do that again. We wouldn't be called Rick and Thick anymore though, because I mean Prez lost like a whole person and a half. Oh fuck me. Oh, I'm still alive.
Dusty!
The name remains. Just say when.
Bro, not this.
Finish him!
There's a lot of dodging there, guys. A lot of dodging. I need Prez to tell y'all the story about the Andy Warhol painting and on his stream one day. Shit. Making me do this, bro. What's making me?
Do not.
Oh, what's that? How do I get there? If I jump on this roof? It won't let me. Really? You never have? You never even tried pitching it to? You never even tried pitching it to other streamers yourself? Oh, can somebody give Flash his points back? Thank you, Bulla. Oh, I totally get that. I totally get that steal. Damn, he's a yellow? I don't know what yellow means. Does that mean legendary? Oh, he's not one of those spirits. Spirit of the Captain Lotus Vision. I thought Flash was gonna try again. Guess he didn't. Okay, I thought the guy that I just killed was the one that made me. Everybody, did y'all know that Jessa was 5'9"? Imagine somebody being 9 foot tall, bro. Bula, to be fair, you were looking up at, well, I think the only person you weren't looking up to was Carly. You know I can fucking hear you, right? I do. The fuck you say, yo? I'll never forget that day. I'll never forget that day because I probably said one of the most wholesome shits I ever said, and all you hear, all just what the fuck you say. Hey, why do you do that to me? Candy, keep it down, please. The tallest at the meetup is Ted. Ted is easily the tallest person. After Ted was Jessa at 5'11". Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Duff is after Ted. Then Jessa at 6'1". Listen, I'm a short king myself, but I'm not afraid to climb things. You heard me, Jax.
Kill a few more.
There's got to be a reason they let me jump. I feel like there's a reason why they let me jump out there. That was a one-hit kill? What? Candy, aren't you like fucking 4'13"?
Kill a few more.
Oh, you fucking... Oh, I can't do that, Duff. I could show them how thick 6 inches is, but I can't show them. Oh man, I love it here. Oh wait, killing that guy. Oh! Oh, you son of a... Oh! You fucking cuck. Suck on your mom's titty, bro. Nah, Steel, that fucking emote combo. Wait, first of all, whose emote is this? Who added that emote? Who the fuck added Nom? Leave my mom's titty alone? Which one? The left one or the right one?
Booth of M the Fugue.
Damn. That's crazy, yo. Your mom need love too, though, Candy.
Kill a few more. Then I can leave this.
The boo for them. The fuck? fuck was that? All of a sudden I became deaf and then I just got my shit launched. Oh, that's Max's throat. Who am I missing? Oh, I'm missing I need to hear Bula's throat. Who else am I missing? Duff, do I have your throat in as one of the randomizers? No, I don't have it, right, Duff? I was wondering whose throat I haven't heard yet. And I haven't heard your throat. And I haven't heard Bula's throat. That's Jax's. Oh, Bula. I need to hear your throat so that I could put it in the randomizer. Joe, what's up, man? You know what, Joe? I actually, I wouldn't mind having your throat and Mill's throat as well.
Wow.
Wow, what a statement. Wait, what are you talking about? No, for the puffer sound, guys. The puffer sound. Come on, guys. No, 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 no.
Daddy, chill.
Did I ever tell you I thought the Daddy Chill was you the first time I saw it?
We got him.
With friends like you guys, I don't fucking need enemies at all. At all. So yo, it's crazy because man, I thought I was a good friend to y'all. I feel like whenever I feel like you guys are down, I reach out to you. I'd be like, yo, you good? You okay? What's going on? And then then we come to my stream, and then I don't know what happened. So I don't shit. Oh no, Jax, you got it all wrong. This mind right here, it suppresses his trauma. Sometimes it even forgets whatever happened. That's how this mind heals.
Stop! He's already dead.
Sometimes it's best to think it never happened. Kind of like when your uncle touches you, you know?
Police! 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 Help! Police! Help! Police! Help! Help! Police!
Yeah, Big Hoss. It looks like we got a 69 in progress. I'm gonna need you to send me in some good ass backup. Yeah. So, bring in the good ass backup.
I'll allow it. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. That was kind of wild.
Dice, blessing, money, testimony. Go to follow you to go. Dice, good news, diet,
Whoever followed after that, you're fucking sick. Yo, nah, whoever followed after that is sick.
This is one of those moments where I thank my lucky stars that I'm white.
Yo, Shar, I've seen your name around somewhere. Where have I seen your name, Shar? Fuck. I'm trying to think now, Shar. I've seen your name around somewhere. Welcome on in, though, Shar. I don't know, man, Shar. Oh, yeah, Fox. I think I've seen you. Yeah, in Fox's Discord, I think I've seen your name. That's what got you. Wait, time out. You came from Fox's, and then that's what got you to follow me. What the fuck? I respect that. Claim the sick. I respect that. Welcome on in. Literally everyone in here is sick. Sick of my, first of all, let's be real, all right? It's my shit, all right, that brought everybody together, all right? So fuck you. You're gonna stick with it. You're gonna deal with it. Because if it wasn't for my shit, whole elbow right in my ass. I know you're on top. How do I get to you, bro? Who disconnect the stream? God damn it, Evan. Evan! I was gonna say, you guys are gonna have to stay here and deal with my shit. I enjoy being on top. Honestly, Char, that's a fucking mood. I'm a switch. Nice to meet you.
Join!
Join.
Join!
That's what a switch is, Flash. When you don't mind being like top or bottom.
Kill a few more.
Oh no, that's definitely true. But like, I feel like the thing about being a switch, I don't know if y'all agree with me, but I feel like people who are switches are essentially tops. All right, but the fact that like, at least this is my thought when it comes to being a switch. I love to give you that false, I like to give you that false, like, I guess that false sense of comfort that you have control of the situation, when in reality, you know, I'll be a bottom now, but whenever I want to, I could just switch and become the top. You know what I mean? This is the bottom thing. Okay, I gotta go here.
Join!
Nah, Nah, power bottoms. Yo, power bottoms are the fucking power bottoms.
Join!
Are the glue to the. Oh, there he is, right here. Oh, there's the other one right there. The double Ricks.
Join!
Oh, now he's all the way over there. Come down, bro. Join doesn't do anything as of yet. So like Char, I took a hiatus from streaming, and I used to have like a sub wheel / bit wheel or whatever, and then you could always join giveaways and stuff. That's what join is going to be eventually when I come back to the wheel. As of right now, it's just Maddie Braun's voice saying join, which chat loves to spam.
Join!
Did I just put a fucking sword in my ear, bro? What the hell?
We got him.
Another master plan of Mount Lingshan. Once a man, now a Guai. Death was his relief.
Thank you so much, Char.
He posed as Maitreya.
Is Char
for a false
short for Charlotte?
And I was
or
for his trap.
Charmander?
My men suffered because of me. I got rid of my
short for Charlotte. Nice.
Myself.
I knew a Charlotte once.
Chance.
She was a spider that knew a lot of long words. I wonder whatever happened to her.
What kind of hero am I? I can save no one.
Oh yeah, you can see the little Ricks. You can still see that one. I know a Charlotte right now. Who's a Charlotte that I know right now? Oh, Char. No, I thought somebody else was named Charlotte. I was like, I don't know another Charlotte.
Step of yours, yellow brow.
No. Yeah, no. No, that I get that now. I got that now. I know that Char is Charlotte, but I was doing a Charlotte's Web joke. I was doing a fucking Charlotte's Web joke. Come on, Jax. The spider that knew big words. Fuck, Jax.
A hero.
Am I supposed to kill this guy?
What kind of hero am I? I can save no one. With that relic, Yellowbrow now harbors greater desires than ever. Your chance may arise as he grows obsessed with his own ego. With that red.
so I don't kill you. So why are you glowing red, bro? Oh, I thought that was a different part of the song. Oh shit! What the hell? Shit. I need to hit up a thing really fast so I could get my gourd back. I am deliriously high. Yo, you know what? Shout out to that. Hold on, homie. Oh my god. Oh. Oh shit.
We're frying it too? This can't get any better. What else? What are we gonna do? You move mountains.
What a hit.
Please stop dying on the internet, please.
Nah, nothing beats when I took that 1,000 milligram edible. Oh my god. Oh my god, nothing beats that. Yo, that edible put me on my ass. Yo, I love that. I loved how Char followed after that. Please don't. I was concerned for you, bro. You don't understand, Joe.
You son of a bitch. I'm in.
Looking back, I don't remember how I got into work. I don't remember what happened at work. I don't remember how I got back home. I just remember taking a nap, waking up, and finally coming back down from that high.
Ooh, now that's girthy.
I came back down from the high the next day, Jax. Almost 24 hours after. Nah, yeah, it was a time. It was definitely a time. God damn it, Ray. Also, Ray, by the way, thank you for the biddies, bro. I can't say thank you enough.
Too late.
No, no! Welcome to my stream, Char. Oh, we're good.
We got him.
We got him. But we do a little bit. We do a little bit of everything over here, Char. We had just finished watching Gordon Ramsay 24 Hours Hell and Back. That's something that I do when is that a chest? Are those chests? It's something that I do when I eat. I take an hour of stream and we just do little watch parties. Hold on a second, that was a chest. How do I? Oh, those are all chests. Where does that lead to? Can I jump down there? I probably could. I probably shouldn't, but I probably could. Did I miss one? Did they change? They did change, but it was in where was it? Breeby, where was the place at again? Was it Missouri? No, it wasn't Missouri. Oh no, Candy, don't call me yet though. I'm streaming right now. Don't call me yet. Call me later. Shit, what the fuck? Yo guys, if you don't have me on Snapchat, y'all missed some quality dad jokes today, bro. Yo, tomorrow's your birthday? Hold on a second. Wishing you the happiest of birthdays. A little early. Wishing you many orgasms. And may someone eat your ass tomorrow. Lurking in the shadows. Bula, where you going? It's not your birthday. How do I get there? Shit, what is it? Wait, do you know Char personally, Carly? I was about to call you Wiz, I don't know why. Hey, Char, if you want to join our Discord, it's a shared Discord between me, Funky Punk NYC, the Jax Effect, and we're live show. You could find my Snap and stuff there. Why the hell did I think? Hold on. I know I'm bugging. Hold on. I don't know why that part I thought it was just me, Joe Biden. Wait, just Joe Biden and me? I don't know. Wait, hold on. Don't eat candles and cake, just Joe Biden and me. Jax or any, can somebody give Miss Charlotte the party people role? Party. Yo, Carly, how you feeling today? How the arms feeling? Feeling sore yet? Oh, you motherfucker. You feeling spaghetti? Spaghetti. Hello? There's nothing over there. You haven't heard what, this song? Or Birthday Sex? Well, I hope it hasn't been that long since you had Birthday Sex at least. Oh, you... Who is hitting, like, who inflicts me with that? That's what I want to know. Who's inflicting me with this damn... Die. Do have to fight that guy though. That guy got to fight. I had no gourd heals though. if you look me up on Snap, it's the same thing as my Twitch channel, Big Rick Energy TV. I am very, very new to Snap, so I will do a lot of boomer things in it. But I also feel like I provide good entertainment on Snap. Why you walling out, bro? All right, love y'all. Gotta head to bed. Work at 6 in the a.m. Yo, Tatsuya, thank you for the 47 months earlier. I love you. Send my regards to the offspring. Have yourself a great night. And if you're having trouble sleeping, you know, just masturbate. Right on me. Take her back to her childhood. Pretty Rick is what they call him. There was a time in my life I used to get called Pretty Ricky too, man. Now I get called Daddy Chill. That's fucking crazy how things turn out. Jax, you ain't shit for that, Jax. That's information I wish I never knew. Back in the day, though, I was a lot thinner. Shit. Shit. Oh, shit. Daddy, chill. I mean, you're not wrong about that, Jax. I'll still wear wigs now. I mean, I did. I just wore a wig in the last Rad stream. I got no problem wearing wigs and dressing up. Which is why I should make the Daddy Chill meme. I could make that like a goal or something. mean, I already have a goal. I have a Riku-chan goal. But, we'll probably, I mean, hopefully we could hit that in September.
That's just the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Beautiful.
What's your name? Alright, those are the guys I gotta fight. So he's hiding in the cut. Hide your coke? That's crazy, Steel. As much as Yo, did I ever tell you about the time me and Prez back in high school gave Molly to a bunch of pigeons? That's a story for another day, class.
Serial killer tendencies.
Oh, Steel. That is a story for another day. Bro, we were young, alright, and we were doing hood rat shit. Life was good. remember the whole controversy when people were trying to spread rumors that Sierra was born a man? That was definitely around when I was in high school. Because I used to think Sierra was fly. Like, I used to think Sierra was so fly as fuck, and people used to make fun of me saying, "Oh, she's a man, bro." I'm like, I don't care if she's a man. She fly as fuck. She was a baddie. Wait, they did that with the Williams sisters? They did? The only thing I remember about the Williams sisters is when the third one got killed. That's the only thing I remember. Like, I honestly don't remember any type of controversy surrounding the Williams sisters. Did we eat today? Oh, yo, your boy ate good today, bro. With all the snaps that Carly sent me, I ate good today. I mean, what? Chill.
Wow.
Kill everybody. Oh, but damn. Now I don't have him for the other fight. But no, Flash. I had Panera Bread today, so I ate. The one you gotta ask about is Jax, though. I don't know if Jax ate. Just a baddie. Honestly, she is. She is.
Did I not walk in here and say BRB cause I was getting food?
Yeah, but telling me that you're getting food and actually getting it and eating it, I mean, how do I know you didn't get sidetracked? You gonna tell me that ADHD don't be kicking in on you? Ain't that bad a bitch? Wait, hold. Oh, okay, wait, Char. So you mean to tell me you didn't follow? You mean to tell me you didn't follow because of what happened? Oh my god. Okay. All right. We thought we were like, what kind of fucking sicko will follow after what I just said? Oh my god, I wasn't even paying attention to my life. That Shrek DLC, but it's my life. Oh, you talking about the Power Wash Simulator? Yo, that actually looks dope. It might actually get me to get Power Wash Simulator. I'm not gonna front. It makes my file story even better. What's a music? What's a? I was gonna ask, what's a music hot take that any of y'all got? A music hot take.
Yeah.
I gotta go back upstairs. My Chemical Romance is mid as fuck. Oh shit. I mean, I did say hot takes. I got several music hot. I got several hot takes, music hot takes. Honestly, Jax, I agree with you. I know that became a meme, the whole Nickelback thing.